The wait is interminable. I've run out of work to occupy myself, and it's still not our turn to evacuate. We all felt the shudder of the explosion at the plant, but since then, nothing. Perkins is wandering around, muttering that they've forgotten us. He's an awful predator at the first sign of trouble, but I'm beginning to wonder if he might perhaps be on the button this time.
What are you doing?
Trying to help you, Dr. Fisher. Now stay still.
No! 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 Get that away from me, Alan! It's not... It's not tested.
It'll save your bloody life. The infection's tearing you apart, trust me.
Get away! Keep your experiments to yourself.
Fisher!
Fisher's log, 28th of September, 57. I knew Dr. Holder was up to something. It's no secret he's been frustrated with the direction of our research, but this takes the biscuit. Last night, Edward let slip about a secret lab Holder has set up in Wyndham Village, under the church, apparently. Of all places. For a month, he's been stealing samples, smuggling out lab equipment, and all with God as his witness. Worst of all, Edward knew because he was planning to join him. Holder's got himself a little rogue scientist brigade. I managed to convince Edward to give me a key to the place. Once this fever is down, I'll march over and confront Holder myself.
Hello? Hello? The instrument's just registered an emergency access. Whoever's in here, I mean you no harm.
Just be calm.
This is Joyce
Hands
Tanner.
away from weapons.
I was part of the investigation team on Convoy 5. And, well,
was
I don't
that?
know how you got into this place, but it's
Hang
bloody
on.
marvelous.
Must have spooked
I'm in
him.
Data Store Charlie. Get to me if you can.
Steady now. Sunbeam. What? You'll die here!
Hello? Who's there? Well, gosh. This is a surprise. When I saw movement, I thought it might be one of those awful feral goblins some people seem to have turned into. You don't look like a goblin, though. Or an outlaw. So, just exactly who are you? Well, I can't argue with that. We find ourselves in very strange times. You haven't immediately tried to kill me, at least. That's a pleasant change. Sometimes I think I'm the only sane one left in the zone. I'm Joyce, by the way. Joyce Tanner. How'd you do? Well, we can put questions of identity aside, I think, seeing as I should be thanking you. I gather that you're the one who's responsible for restoring the power supply here. I've been trying to get in here for simply ages. I've just about given up hope. My, but you're full of satiable curiosity, aren't you? Well, I've nothing to hide. There was an expeditionary convoy sent in a few months ago. And Muggins here was seconded to it. I'm a communications specialist. Girl boffin, the squaddies call me. They needed us ladies to hold up the science end of things. I was drafted in, along with a Dr. Garrow. They say she was a big name here, before the disaster. Anyway, the expedition did not go swimmingly, let me tell you. We barely made it into Slattendale when the bridge was blown out from under us, and the convoy wrecked. Before we knew what was happening, we were beset by a horde of whooping maniacs in masks. It was awful. Well, she came in by air. Our helicopters fared even worse. The interference field around this whole site brought them down. The helicopter carrying her crashed in the woods. I can mark the spot for you, for what it's worth. I doubt any of them walked away from that wreck. Poor devils. I think I may well be the sole survivor of the convoy. But things are certainly looking up now we're in here. Isn't it a remarkable sight? The interchange in all its glory. I was beginning to think I'd never see the inside of it. Think of all the secrets that might be hidden here. Well, the interchange itself seems to be wired together like some sort of big computer. These data stores all connect to the central data processor. Though with the power cut, it looks like it's gone into a sort of a dormant state. No doubt that was part of the drill to get this place mothballed when the disaster happened. Whatever it was. As for the research they were doing here, well, I don't know. You could poke around and find out, I suppose. The important thing is that we're in here, and I cannot overstate my delight that you managed it. Now, finally, there's a chance I can get into the communication systems proper. And listen, we don't need to trust each other just yet. But maybe we can work together. It's a bit of a two-person job, this. Look, if I can get a message through the interference field, I should be able to sort out an exit for us. I'd need a whole array of transmitters to punch through the interference, though. There are a few radio towers across the area that should do the trick. I've restored power to them, but I seem to be locked out of their controls. The operators must have isolated the towers from the network when the quarantine was declared. But look, if you could find each tower and release the security lock, I can fiddle around this end and try to use the array to blast out a signal. Here, I'll give you map coordinates for each tower. Good luck. Do your best. And try not to get eaten by any goblins. If you can give me access to all those radio towers, well, there might be hope for us yet.
Sneaky bastard. You've gone. Let's have no strife. What was that? Let's be sensible, eh? Nobody wants trouble. Come out where I can see you.
It's working. Are you reading me over at the tower? Oh, I hope so. Smashing work. That's one tower reading green on my console. Keep it up and we'll have ourselves a working array in no time. And I've been doing some digging myself. They buried the meteor's information well, but I found a few threads to follow. Talk to you about it soon.
Oh, come off it, you're fine, pal. Watch out! You'll be alright.
Attention! Wyndham Village is under the... This is a defense announcement. The substation is now off limits to all citizens and enlisted men. Speak to a protocol officer if you require access for a legitimate reason.
One more civvy gives me cheek and I'll top the bastard. Orders be blowed.
Citizens of Wyndham, pagan practices of any kind are strictly forbidden. Breach of this regulation is punishable by death.
Keep it civilized. No troublemakers.
This is the transaction. Oberon must die. If Oberon is dead, then the way out will open. You will awaken as if from a nightmare. This sequence is assured. If Oberon is dead, then the way out will open. Others have and will offer you escape. To follow their advice is at best optimistic, at worst foolish. Be careful. Trust only me.
Remember that your village is one of the few remaining bastions of normality within the zone. Keep it that way. Be normal.
I hear of all places. If they'd resolved to do something so awful, why in the church? The doom was all in the process. If the captain and his minion... Oh, I'm sorry, we're closed today. Please leave. Please, I beg of you. Just forget you saw anything here and go. Please. So it seems. To visit this sort of thing upon the church is pure wickedness. Please, tell no one. I know how it seems, but I would not ask such a thing if it weren't for the good of the village. It's vital the military don't learn of this. We'll tidy up, but if the captain and his toy soldiers find out, things will become so much worse here. All I can concern myself with right now is keeping this quiet. I must decide what to do about this before any soldier wanders in. I would suggest you let all this lie too. The matter is best left to the village to handle. Maisie, a local girl. She must have got mixed up in something. The weapon that was used to, a peculiar choice. It puts me in mind of those debauched druids out in the woods. Well, we call them druids. I'm not sure what they call themselves. The disaster seems to have fostered the return of some distinctly atavistic, indeed thoroughgoing pagan sentiments around here. The following sprang up in Casterfell Woods shortly after, in the ruins of an old castle, and has since bloomed into a vicious cult. Certain death. That's what you'll be met with if you choose to enter the woods. I advise you to stay well away. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some things to work out.
What do you want? I had naught to do with Maisie's death, I swear. In God's name. And neither did the vicar. He's a good man. If this gets back to the soldiers, they'll cart him and me both off to jail. I don't know who. Not us. She probably got on the wrong side of someone on account of her. But you should leave. This is village business, and none of yours. Confess? All right, look. She were good at following people, was our Maisie. Nosing around in their business. I don't know, mayhap she found summit and got silenced for it. I saw her the other night, skulking around near an old cellar not far from here. I can mark it for you, but I know naught else. And I don't want to talk about this no longer.
You'll do the right thing, I'm sure. God go with you.
nice shooting some troublemakers. Shame we can't do that again. There are a few locals left as it is.
That you continue to do well. Much depends upon you continuing to do well.
Your village is one of the few remaining bastions of normality within the zone. Keep it that way.
Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is Dr. Garrow. My helicopter has come down in Casterfell Woods. Damned interference field fried the electronics. There are no survivors. Myself excluded, obviously. Lord, is anyone receiving this? Anyone in the interchange? Of course not. You're all dead in there, aren't you? I'm heading to the village. See if I can't find anyone still alive in this place.
Apocalyptic.